Hablando Entre Mujeres, tu programa, aquí con Rosmarie Sánchez, que te espera una hora espectacular. Así que quédate en casa, posiciona tu vida en grande porque ese eres tú. Hablando Entre Mujeres, para todas las edades, para todos los géneros, y aquí emprendemos siempre tu vida. Disfruta este momento que es tuyo. Hablando Entre Mujeres, todos los días, miércoles a las 7 de la noche con Rosmarie Sánchez.
Buenas noches, como siempre aquí, Rosmarie Sánchez, tu conductora del programa Hablando Entre Mujeres. Y hoy tenemos una noche de espectáculo. ¿Por qué? Tenemos invitados de lujo como siempre, enseñando a la comunidad todo acerca de las inversiones, pero sin embargo, antes, como siempre, hay que agradecer. Nuestro agradecimiento va para Frequency 5 FM, casa de producción, por supuesto, nuestros aliados, como quien Al Día Media, Universus Radio y Impacto FM Stereo. Gracias por transmitirnos en toda Latinoamérica. Y con tu presencia podemos llegar a muchos otros rincones, a muchas otras partes, que estoy seguro que será de impacto para escuchar precisamente a grandes conferencistas. Ellos, quienes son de habla inglesa, hoy traen mucha información precisa, cómo invertir tu dinero, cómo diversificarlo y por demás, cómo hacer que todos tus dividendos crezcan ilimitadamente. Así que te invito a que te quedes en casa. El programa va a estar en ambos idiomas, en español e inglés. So thank you so much for being out there for us tonight with our show, Talking Between Women. And we are very, very happy because we have amazing people who are coming. They're natured speakers. They've been working through the investments, and perhaps we have something called that's coming up, a big conference called Capital Raising Boot Camp. And we're going to listen to them. What is this about? What they're bringing? Why are they doing such a work out there, making a difference with communities? And perhaps give them their engagement to have much more invested money, capital raised, and perhaps diversifying your funds. Because it's really important to know the strategies, how money works, what money can do for you, and perhaps they have the answers. So I want you to listen, stay with us, and please share and like the show. Like always, your audience is really important to us, and perhaps we are thinking everyone and each of you who listen and also put attention, because we're going to be talking a special matter here. And we're going to thank for sure our Frequency 5 FM radio show, as well our allies, which are Impacto FM Stereo, Universus Radio, and we also have Al Dia Radio. And because of them, we are going through different spaces, different scenarios, and perhaps also different countries. So I want you to please share this show, because what's going to be talked in here is really a matter. So thank you so much. We are awaiting for our first guest, and that person is Nadir Tirani. He is an amazing sexy touch man. That's how we have called him here before when we interviewed him on December last year. Now I'm going to let you know a little bit about who he is. As I know, he's a very, very qualified person in the Accounting Association. He's the president and principal at NHD Associate Chartered Professional Accountants, Financial Advisors. Nadir is a chartered professional accountant involved in taxes and financial planning. In one way or another since 1990. Wow, that's the experience there. And that's something I want to talk about, what he's doing today, this day, where there's a pandemic, people are uncertain in how they are going to cope with taxes and perhaps their management of money, diversify, and to have really a capital return. So let's have perhaps in our show tonight, Nadir Tirani. If we have it online, please let us know, production, because I'm ready to listen about him. Well, as we want to thank also all our audience that is giving us love in here, and we have someone called Patty Macintoni. Saludos y bendiciones. Gracias, gracias, Patty. This show tonight is going to be in both languages, Spanish and English. So I want you to pay attention, because perhaps what we're going to talk in here is not only going to be in Spanish and English, but it's going to be the nature of love. This is what we do. We trust the people we interview. We know that raising capital is something that has to be taught. And that's why this special conference that is happening on February 27, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., bringing Sunil Tulsiani, Michelle Romanoff, Kevin Harrington, wow, the Shark Tank, and perhaps much more of the interviewed speakers that we're going to talk today about. They're going to be there. So Nadir Tirani, we're also going to have Dan Duray, and we will have Daniel Shard. So when we're ready for Nadir Tirani, please come on along, because we are awaiting for you. Bueno, me gustaría darles gracias a ustedes que siempre están participando, que están haciendo de este programa algo especial. Hemos entrevistado a autores internacionales bestsellers. Tenemos sagas de éxito, por supuesto, en la parte de lo que es comunicación, todo lo que es producción y demás con Rosmarie Sánchez, y tenemos a Analía Seni, por supuesto, en la parte de lo que es edición. Wow, ediciones, autores de éxito. Rosmarie Sánchez representa Breakthrough Rose Production. Unidas somos sagas de éxito. Y si ustedes ven hoy todos estos libros, es parte del recorrido que llevamos ya por 10 meses con 10 libros y 6 sagas lanzadas. Así que te invitamos que quedes en casa. Si no tenemos a Nadir Tirani, podemos pasar con Dan Duray. Perhaps time is short, and it's really important that you are focused to be here tonight. One of the things I like to say is I see online Nadir Tirani, so I'm sure he's coming any minute. We are awaiting for you. If you mind to wait for the phone call for production. Well, I want to let know about who's Dan Duray, because he's going to be the next person interviewed after Nadir. And he's a successful real estate investor with over 2 decades of investing experience. He's a public speaker and upcoming author, and is also the founder of Duray Property Management, which helps part-time and full-time investors manage their rental properties. Wow, I want to listen about that, because as we know, today's day, rent is going up, and it's not going to go anywhere down. That's for sure. So there's things that we are going to be taught tonight that I just don't want you to miss. So if we have Dan Duray or Nadir Tirani, we can start. Okay, so we're just awaiting. Also, I'm gonna let you know who's Daniel Shard. Daniel Shard is an award-winning mortgage broker with over 15 years in the finance industry. He has helped countless investors earn a higher return of their investment using non-traditional strategies. And he was a trusted advisor in the Science of Getting Rich book, re-released in 2020. You can catch about Daniel interviewing successful real estate investors in North America in YouTube channel. Wow, that's really important. And I've seen the actual, YouTube channel that he has, and I can tell you, golden nuts, golden nuts, golden nuggets you're going to find there. So that's why we have to wait for these amazing authors, speakers, real estate investment, property management, and tax accountant. Because one of the things that's most important today, this day, is how to leverage your money. And that's a necessity. So please await for them. I'm glad that we're going to have them very, very soon. But I need to understand what's happening. Where is Nadir? Where is Daniel? And where is Dan? As a matter of fact, we know we're going to have them here very, very soon. Bueno, gracias. Veo que estamos en línea con Guzmán. Arturo, gracias por estar aquí siempre con tu programa Hablando Entre Mujeres. Okay, so we have Daniel. Daniel Shard is online. And I would love to hear from you. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Very, very well. Very, very well. We're very happy you're here. And we are going to talk all about the Capital Raising Boot Camp. And as a matter of fact, you are an invited guest there for speaking about all about the mortgage situation, what's happening in Canada, and I'm sure strategies that will come up with your knowledge will help sufficiently to people to understand how they can really raise or diversify their money. So let us know about who you are, Daniel, please. I would like to hear from you now.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. Hey, Rosemary. So I'm a mortgage broker in the Toronto area. Born and raised in Toronto, and I always had a passion of money. As funny as that sounds, I've always had a passion of finding how people can make money with money and how people can purchase properties. Like, it doesn't matter what the value is with none of their money. And that really intrigued me. That started out when I was in the banking sector. I had the privilege of working in one of the big 5 banks, and I met a lot of high net worth individuals, and I always was curious. I said, wow, how did you do this? How did you do that? May I ask you questions? I was their banker, but I was asking them questions. I said, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you buy 15 properties, no money down? And that's how I started to learn all the tricks in the trade. And basically, when we were growing up, we're always taught that debt is bad. Save your money, save your money, save your money. And what you want to do is save for a rainy day. And I get that. I get that concept. It makes sense in a theoretical view. But when I'm sitting in front of my high net worth clients, the ones that have 15, 16, 17 properties, 50 properties, all of them are in debt. That's the craziest thing. But the thing is that they're all in debt, but they're not paying for their debt. Somebody else is paying for their debt. And that's when they showed me, well, you know what? For your own principal residence, okay, you might want to have no mortgage, but all the other properties, you want to have max mortgage so you can write it off and you have somebody else pay for you. And that's when my mind just exploded. I said, wow, this is crazy. We were talking about GICs, 1%, and that was like a good deal. 1%, put your money here, guaranteed 1%. And here I see a client of mine making $2,000-$3,000 a cash flow per property, and he's borrowing money at 3%. So that's basically how I started in, and then I started going through all the lending channels. So here we are today. I bought a couple of properties, no money down. My first property bought with a credit card, believe it or not, 23% interest. People thought I was crazy. My family thought I was crazy. That's my first year in finance. My first year as a mortgage broker. I left the banking channel, no more salary, and made a big purchase using credit cards. So I just reused that concept of using other people's money, looking at the deal, and not looking at interest rates. So
Wow.
that's basically what I'm going to be talking about at the Capital Raising Bootcamp in my section. How asking the financier, asking your banker, asking your mortgage broker, what is the lowest rate? That's actually costing you money. That's the wrong question you want to ask.
Wow.
The right question you want to ask is, where can I find the best deals? Because I got clients that pay 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15, 20% interest. But why do they pay that? Because they're making more return somewhere else. The person that's paying 20% interest is making 50% return. So when you actually look at it, it's all about what's going into your pocket, what you're netting out. I have clients today that they try to buy a property 7 years ago, and we know where the market went in the last 7 years, and they said to me, Daniel, the rate's too high. The rate's too high. Mortgage rates are too high. This was 7 years ago. But now rates went down, but the same property doubled. So yeah, maybe 7 years ago you could have paid 3.5% interest rates, okay, on a $300,000 condo. But today that same condo is like $700,000, and yeah, you're going to get a good rate. You're going to pay 1.5. So what do you want, right? So, and that's basically what I tell my clients, my listeners. Look at the deal as a whole. Don't only look at the one component, because interest rates is the smallest component when it comes to real estate investing.
Wow. This is mind
Sorry for
disrupting.
rambling. I can go on and on.
No, I'm like, wow, this is a teaching lesson. Honestly, like, to be honest with you, I have a good knowledge about capital investments. I have my license as an insurance agent and also for mutual funds. And when I listen to you, I'm like, whoa, hello, there's a lot here. And I know what you're talking is truthful. And that's the most important. Because sometimes people may say, oh, but he doesn't know my situation, or it's really complicated. And I'm sure there's always an answer for these people, that in complications, we can always get along. There's always a way.
Yeah.
And in life, in reality, is who knows whom. And I'm sure people who's watching right now, they have a reason to come to this conference about the Capital Raising Bootcamp. I think it's really amazing to listen from you, from Sunil, from Kevin Harrington, from Michelle Romanoff. I have Sunil online here. He's saying, hi, Rosemary. Hey, Daniel. Thank you, Sunil, for supporting the show. Sunil Tulsiani was interviewed here perhaps last time when we did the Wealth Mastery Conference. And this is something that I love doing. I really love communication, but I really want to bring quality. And it matters, because all the people who's here and watching and listening, at the end of the day, when they go away again home, they're going to think about this situation, and perhaps they're going to take the chance to be at this conference. Let us know about the conference, please. I want to listen what you're bringing. More than this? Because I'm sure there's much more.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like, the wealthiest people, they borrow money. Like, if you look at Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, all these Amazon, they all borrow money. But who's paying for it? It's not them, right? So I know, like, for the average person, it took me a while because I was bank trained. And so it took me a while to understand this concept. So it's not the fact that you have a big red balance. When you open your online banking, you see negative $500,000, negative $1 million. That's not the case. You could be negative $1 billion. Who cares? It's who pays the interest. That's the key concept. That's what I really want to drive home. So when I have clients that say, hey, what's your lowest rate? I always tell them, don't worry about the rate. Buy your house. Because if you're renting, you're paying 0% interest, but you're paying rent.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
So, yeah. So don't worry about the rates. buy your house because every day that goes along and you haven't purchased a home, you see what the market is going. I got clients that I pre-approved. I think in November, I pre-approved them when the rates were about 1.89 and they wanted to buy $1 million house. And I said, go and buy it right now. That was in November. Today's February, they're priced out of the market. Now the rates dropped. I could get them a 1.55, but now the same house, they got to buy it at 1.2. So,
wow.
So that's what I always tell people, look at the big picture, because if you only look at one component, you're going to get messed up in the marketplace. When you're buying a house, you don't go, hey, what's the cheapest house I buy, right? That's not the question people ask. What they say is, hey, I want to buy a property that I could raise my family in. There's a low crime rate. There's a nice school that I can put my kids in. That's what they're asking for. And what comes with that demographics that they're asking for, that comes with the price now. So when people are shopping for homes or investment properties, they don't go, hey, I want to buy $1 million house. They go, I want a nice location. I want a detached, nice school, low crime. This is what they ask for, near the highway. And then when you look at all the parameters, hey, everything's $1 million. They don't just go, hey, I want $1 million house, right? So, because $1 million is in Toronto a separate property versus when you go all the way to Timbuktu. Like you can buy a mansion like 5 hours north of Toronto.
Wow. Let me stop there because I think it's really important for our audience that they speak Spanish also. They understand this. I'm just going to translate a little bit of it.
Yeah, no problem.
Because there's tons of information here, but I think it's really important. So, tenemos a Daniel Char, quien está con nosotros por una conferencia que se llama Capital Raising Bootcamp. Y estas personas que son maravillosas, de verdad, que traen un concepto tan visual y tan personalizado y tan evaluado, que han puesto precisamente su experiencia y han convertido que el dinero, en vez de ser una deuda, sea más bien una experiencia donde ganes siempre. No importa cuánto sea el interés, no importa si es difícil la oportunidad, siempre hay personas que van a pagar el interés que tú estás pagando o más. Pero ¿cómo lo puedes diversificar? ¿Cómo lo puedes impactar en tu vida? Para que ustedes sepan, aquí en Canadá, una casa de $1 millón es algo normal. Y podrán decir mucha gente, wow, pero $1 millón puedo comprar yo algo, una mansión en Estados Unidos. Sí, claro que sí, pero el estándar de vida que tiene Canadá es muy diferente a Estados Unidos. Ahora bien, una de las cosas que estamos haciendo es precisamente que las personas se unan para que escuchen información que va a poder proveerles a ustedes, inclusive en sus países, que no es Canadá o Estados Unidos, una forma de ver que las viviendas es una forma de siempre contribuir al anexo de oportunidad y crecimiento de dinero. Bueno, so I'm just very, very happy, Daniel, because honestly, when I listen to you, it comes to my mind about what's people waiting, like why people are afraid about the market still, when there's tons of opportunities that you're talking about, and perhaps these people are not even educated, or if they are, they're still afraid. They don't know what to do because there's no people who can really show them the way precisely as you're explaining.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is fear-based. Everybody's worried about what if the market crashes, right? Let's put it this way. We're going to look at other markets that would crash first, okay? So there's a few necessities in life. You need food, you need water, and you need shelter. So those are guaranteed stuff, okay? You don't need a Louis Vuitton bag. You don't need like luxury products. Now, if everything was to go to a massive recession, it would be the Lamborghinis, the Porsches, depreciating assets. Those would go down first before your condo or townhouse or your house.
I agree.
So, and even if it does go down, you're living in it, you're consuming it. And depending on what you're buying, you can always rent out the basement or have somebody come in and live with you and collect rent there. So you can offset your risk if things get really, really bad. Like if I buy like if I buy a Lamborghini tomorrow and things go bad, I gotta find someone who can buy my car. Like even though it's $400,000 brand new, $400,000, $400,000. Even if I depreciate it and say, hey, I'll give you a deal, $100,000 off, that's still a $300,000 car. Not a lot of people can afford it, right? So I wouldn't be worried about the market going down because like the population's increasing. We have new immigrants. Every day that goes by, you and I, we're getting older, and if we have kids, our kids are getting older. So eventually there is always going to be natural demand, right? So there's always going to be that buffer in there. So I'm never worried about real estate. Yes, it's going to go up and down all the way through. It's never a straight line up. But like if you're renting right now and you're sick and tired of paying your landlord's rent, I don't even have to tell you anymore, right? And I think we have to take away the rate talk and the fear of losing talk, because nobody thought in 15 years that a $500,000 house can turn into $2.1, $2.3, $2.5 million. I have clients that from back in the day when I was working at the bank, they were scrambling to scrap up $25,000, 5% down payment. And today they're in like a $2 million house. They're telling me, Daniel, I never thought that this house would be worth $2 million. So the fear is, what if things go down, right? What if real estate crashes? What if the interest rates go up? But what if the rates keep going down? And what if your property keeps going up? We never talk about the benefit. And that's what I want to shine the light on, because there is the other side, right? Let's get past the fear, and there's always going to be someone there to help you. If things get bad, there's going to be people there to help you. I have clients that they bought a house for $500,000 and they lived their life. They racked up credit card debt. They bought cars. They got into gambling problems. They got into life, right? Life hits us. And they went to a bankruptcy specialist and they thought they were going to go bankrupt. And the bankruptcy specialist said, why are you going bankrupt? I know you owe $200,000, but do you know that your house is worth $1 million? And they're like, what? So when they bought their house, they bought it for $500,000. They had a mortgage for $400,000, and over the next 10 years, their mortgage went to $200,000. And yes, they racked up some credit card debt. They got about $200,000 of credit card debt, but they didn't realize that over the course of living their lives, their house appreciated to $1 million.
Wow!
And I said to them, hey, this is the easy fix. You don't need to claim bankruptcy. You got equity in your house. All I got to do is refinance your house. Boom, you're done. Simple as that. I love it. Right? Now, if you were a tenant, if you were renting, oh my gosh, you couldn't do that.
100%.
There's no safety net.
Wow.
That's it, yeah.
Wow. I love this chatting with Daniel. I have Sunil who says, Daniel is my money guy. Bravo. Wow. Aplausos, please. Well. Tenemos precisamente a Daniel que nos está enseñando que tener una casa, así sea que se deprecie, que vaya el sistema abajo y que pareciera que no funciona, recuérdate que siempre va a haber gente que va a necesitar vivir, comer y tomar agua. O sea que es una necesidad constante, así que vas a poder tener personas que renten, paguen por ti. Siempre hay una manera, y ver que el incremento de ese capital, de esa propiedad de 5 a 10 años puede duplicarse. Precisamente si estás en deudas, ahora que tienes algo que se llama valorización, tienes dinero que puedes pedir algo al banco en retribución a lo que cuesta esa inversión y en el momento del mercado. Así que con eso podrías pagar todas tus deudas. Es lo mejor invertir que precisamente rentar. Con la renta nunca tendrías esa oportunidad. Wow, amazing. I love this. There is a website called... I want to
drive one more point home.
Sure.
If you got 2 minutes. I want to drive one more point.
Yes, please, by all means.
Let's say you buy a home for $500,000. The minimum down payment, the minimum is 5%. Okay, that's 25 grand. And I always have clients that have fear of what if my property that I buy for 500,000 drops in price. Remember, when you're buying a home, you're not really buying a home. It's actually the bank. The bank's giving you the 95. So don't worry if the prices drop, because if prices drop 50%, it's the bank that's taking the risk, not you. You're only risking 25 grand on $500,000. The bank is lending out 475,000. All right. So you always want to play this game. Use other people's money, leverage money as long as you can handle it. Learn from other people who's done it before. But if you have ever said, man, I wish I bought that property 10, 15 years ago, I'd be a millionaire. Don't stop, because the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. It's not too late. You can still do it again. So I just want to drive that point home.
I love it. And perhaps, who's not going to go to this conference? If you listen to Daniel, imagine we have a ton other people coming up, but perhaps we have amazing speakers. We have people who have gone through all things that you can ever think about, but they have changed and disrupted what's really wealth. So perhaps we have Sunil Tulsiani, Michelle Romanoff, Kevin Harrington, Dan Duray, Daniel Shard, and we also have Nadir Teherani, and we have other ladies that have joined us before here in interview, and there will be again there. So I invite you to go to capitalracingbootcamp.ca. And if you want to leave your, please, information for social media, people to call you, follow you, and show you, you know what? I need you, because one day you taught me something, I was disrupted. And this is the moment. Go ahead, Daniel.
Perfect. So you can reach me at danielchar.com. That's DANIELCHAR.com. And Instagram. I'm all over YouTube and Instagram. So if you just Google Daniel Char, you're going to find me. But best of all, come to the Capital Raising Bootcamp. I'm going to blow your mind away. I'm going to show you guys how paying a higher rate is actually going to put more money in your pocket. I'm going to show you guys how I made $200,000 gross profit paying 23% interest. Okay?
Wow.
So if I can make money at 23%, you can make money at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6% interest.
Applauses. Bravo. Wow. Thank you, Daniel. It's been a pleasure you being here. And you're most welcome anytime, any other time. Thank you once again.
All right. Thank you.
All right. See you soon. Thank you. I'll be at the conference, that's for sure.
All right. Take care.
All right. You too. So you see, this is why you have to be in the show. Like, honestly, my mind is going viral. Yoo-hoo. I have tons of things to do. And perhaps I know where to go. And that's with this capitalraisingbootcamp.ca, and that's why I invite you to go. So I have left a link on the Facebook page on Frequency 5M perhaps that you can use to register, and it's for free. That's the best of all, because you know what? There's tons of ways to leverage information, and this is what we're doing. We're teaching you. So now you're leveraging information. Now you have to act as well. Once you act, there will be results. That's for sure. So now if we can have with us Nadir Teherani or Dan Duray. Who will be? Dan Duray? Nadir. Nadir Teherani, welcome.
Hi, how are you doing? Sorry, I am having technical difficulties with my computer, with laptop's camera. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Nadir. I'm so happy you're here because you're the sexy tats man. Bravo, so my friend, mi amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Él habla un poco español, ¿ok? Así que vamos entre español e inglés. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás,
muy bien,
amigo?
Muy bien, gracias. Muy bien. ¿Y usted?
Muy bien, estoy feliz que estés en casa. Hemos tenido un momento maravilloso con Daniel y ahora queremos escucharte. So we want to listen to Nadir, and he has an amazing story that shares a lot with people, you know. And last time when we had him here at the studio, he came with Sunil and with Dan. We had such a good time because listening to people who really have gone through many years of experience as this amazing gentleman, it's something that we really encounter fabulous because we learned. And that's one of the reasons he's back again. He will be at the Capital Racing Boot Camp. And I'm sure that you have something to tell us. What's going to be there? What you're bringing as an accountant, a professional accountant advisor.
Sure. Actually, this time, because we are going through the COVID and a lot of small businesses are in trouble, I am going to talk about all the government aid and help and loans that are available. I'm going to talk about the grants that are available. There is so many grants and help and loans that government has introduced, such as Canada Emergency Business Account that many businesses are using, and it's $60,000. There is also Business Credit Availability Program on top of that $60,000 that small businesses can go through the bank and get a $40,000 loan on top of it, and this one is guaranteed through Export Development Canada. You don't need to be in export business, but it is guaranteed through the government, and they cover up to 80% of the new operating credit and your cash flow. So small businesses that are in trouble, a lot of them don't know. They think the only $60,000 that they applied was the only thing they got. There is also the highly affected sectors credit availability program that is for the tourism, hospitality, restaurants. I have a lot of clients who have never heard of it, and when I told them that this became available, they couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And it gives grants of $25,000 to $1 million.
Wow.
So if you are in a small business and if you are affected and you are closed, and especially if you're in the tourism and hospitality or restaurant, you have this $25,000 to $1 million. So these are the available credits. Also, there is something called the Black Entrepreneurship Loan Fund that is $25,000 to $250,000. But then, yes, of course, they call it Black Entrepreneurship. So you are helping that sector of the economy and the society. And then the regular help that everybody knows and is aware of it, like Canada Emergency Rent Subsidy, Canada Emergency Wage Subsidies. These are the great ones that everybody is using, but those grants that I named, a lot of people haven't heard of it. And there is also another grant that just came available as of February 16 yesterday. It's called Canada United Small Business Relief Fund. It's $5,000. You can use it to build a website, to improve your website. You can use it to start selling on your website. So up to $5,000. It's managed through Ontario Chamber of Commerce and RBC. It is available all across Canada. So different societies, different associations across Canada are handling it. As of yesterday, nobody has heard of this one, the $5,000 one. So there is a lot of help out there. Also, we have a lot of grants available from the Ontario government. The last month and a half, they are becoming more and more available. So the latest one that came into effect is the Small Business Support Grant that they give you $10,000 to $20,000. As long as your business dropped from April 19th comparison to 2020 by 20%, you minimum qualify for $10,000. And then based on the percentage drop dollar for dollar, they cover it up to $20,000. It's a grant. You don't have to pay it back. It's another $20,000. It's about 3 weeks now. And every day our clients are getting qualified for it. It's quite fast, quite easy. It's managed through the Ontario government, and they were ready for it. And besides these, then the protective equipment grant that they pay you back for all the face shields, masks, alcohol, sanitizers, then the property tax rebate, energy cost rebate, which they pay you back, the gas and hydro, and also besides the $5,000 that I announced that I stated that the federal government is giving to small businesses, Ontario government has something called Digital Main Street, and that's another $2,500 grant to improve or to build a website. So again, these are so many numerous helps that are out there. People don't know about it. They just know about that $60,000 loan and the rent subsidy and the wage subsidy. There are so many different ways they can raise funds right now as grant or as loan. And the great thing about the grant is that you don't have to give it back. You just have to declare it as taxable income next year and get your business going, or even, as I have seen in many cases, improve your business and have a blasted year. So, yeah, and when we are at the event, I'm going to have a report that details all of these with the websites where to go on to apply for it, the conditions that everybody has to meet in order to qualify for all these loans and grants. And, yeah, exactly. Most important is where to apply. So I'm going to have the links in the report. So you better show up Saturday 27th to get a copy of this report.
Wow. I'm just going here like, hello. So, tomorrow you'll have me in your office. Honestly.
Oh, great. My pleasure.
Like, honestly, please.
I'll be glad to help.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, me as a business owner, I know some of this, but as you're mentioning and in detail, I'm going like, okay, now I want the 5,000 grant at least, the 2,500 grant. I mean, and I can go above and beyond. And I'm asking in my mind, how Canada has so much grants and loans and all this money given to their citizens, the residents, and even people who are doing their paperwork in this country. And other countries, they're not doing this. This is really serious, honestly.
That's true.
Honestly. So you can see the quality of life that Canadians have.
Exactly.
And we wonder, well, we pay high taxes. Yes, we do. But you know what? We have a government that's responsible for their citizens, that is responsible for people living in this country, residents, above all, education and sanity and all things needed for us to have an independent country where we can work together. And I think this is really important because one of the things a lot of people, they don't know is they know we are in the North Pole, may say, and this is a beautiful country and a lot of snow, but perhaps coming to Canada is a wonderland. Amazing, honestly. Poor countries like Latin American countries, and I'm mentioning this because this show goes along to those countries, they're dying. There's no way of subsidize government like we do. What can you say about this?
We are blessed. Thank God, we are blessed living in a country like this. And I mean, when I was researching, when I was going through the COVID last year, and one by one I was following the government announcement that were coming out, I was amazed to see it. And now that they are actually implementing it, I see every one of them was true. And even to the last one that was yesterday, I hadn't even heard of it, that they would actually do it. And it came through. And as of yesterday, they are accepting application. It's amazing that this government is helping the small businesses so much. And people have to ask their accountants, call us, call anywhere you can research it and find out about these. Come to the event, get the copy of the report and talk to your accountant and use these benefits because they are available out there. I mean, just like the rent subsidy. The first time they announced it, they did it wrong. They gave it to the landlords. Only $1 billion out of the $3 billion went to the business owners. So what did they do? They changed it. They came back. As of September, they are giving it away to the business owners themselves directly instead of passing it through the landlord. So if the funds are available and everybody's business has been affected, definitely go for it and apply for it. Research it. Google it.
Wow.
Go for it.
Wow.
We are blessed to live in this country.
Wow, definitely. Wow, I'm so blessed and thankful to listen to you because with the 30 years of experience representing and defending businesses with the CRR, I mean, you listened. There's no way to go back and say, hey, man, you didn't tell me. Like, honestly. And that's why I think it's so important for people to understand this capital raising boot camp conference. You're going to have tough people here teaching you, giving you free information and building you as a human being, as a better person to deal with the situation of money. Because one of the things a lot of people fear these days is how they're going to invest their money, how they diversify their money, how they raise the money when everybody's teaching something and is giving something. Where is the truthful information? And I think by listening and the accordance to what you may know, it'll end up giving you the answer. Yes, in fact, it's true. You know what I mean? Is it that what I'm thinking right now, that because you have powerful speaker as Kevin Harrington, Sunil Tulsiani, Michelle Romanoff, Dan DeRay, Daniel Shar, you yourself, and some other ladies that I don't have their name here. I'm so sorry, but they've been here in our show. Definitely, it's something that's gonna disrupt their mind, and it's gonna really make a tough decision. You know, should I do or not? What can you tell the people today who's watching, listening, why to go to the Capital Raising Boot Camp?
I mean, just look at it. I'm an accountant, and well, I'm an investor also, and I own my own business. I'm an entrepreneur. Just look at the small 2 sheets that I prepared here, and there is at least $250,000, at least $250,000 that you can get help. So imagine you sit with a guru like Michelle Romano, or you sit with Kevin Harrington, who has been a shark, who's been in business since 1980s. He's been in those TV shows and TV programs. I mean, they invest into multi-million-dollar businesses, and they can raise hundreds of millions of dollars. So come and sit with them, learn from them. They can show you the way. So that's the best place to be right now, especially now with this COVID-19 that we are going through and everybody is affected. So just imagine the wealth of knowledge you can walk out on Saturday next week.
Wow, amazing. I do know the names of the 2 amazing ladies who have been interviewed here, which is Jatinder Singh, founder of the Off-Event Investor, and we have Fanny Newport, founder of the Green Mind Property Group. They're 2 amazing, speakers in terms of knowledge, and what they have done also for their money and helping clients, perhaps. Well, you have listened to it, and we still have someone else to be interviewed, which is Dan DeRay. But perhaps I want to really thank you. Like I said, tomorrow I'm going to call you. Probably I'm going to be there in your office myself, honestly, because right now you gave me,
pleasure.
Thank you, a big opportunity. Thank you so much. If they want to find you, Nadir, and they want to talk to you, how they will reach you?
They can contact me at Nader, Nader, at nhttax.com. And our office, they can also go to my website, nhttax.com, and they can come to our offices or just call me.
Amazing. If they called you, what number?
They can call 905-847-9405. That's my Oakville office, or in Kitchener, 519-742-5320.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I really thank you. Please,
thank you.
Production, applauses. He really deserves it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bueno, ya lo escucharon. Thank you. Bye, amigo. Nos vemos pronto. Gracias. Qué lindo. You have listened. Ya lo escucharon. Muchísimas inversiones que se pueden hacer en Canadá. Hay muchísimo dinero que el gobierno canadiense está ofreciendo a pequeñas y grandes compañías, pero a sí mismo inclusive a las personas que están rentando directamente en vez de los que son los dueños de la renta en negocios. O sea, que hoy tienen una oportunidad ustedes de crecer, pero tienen que ser definitivamente con conocimiento. So, hello. We have Dan DeRay. Hello, how are you, Dan?
I'm doing great, Rosemary. Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Virtually. The same. Yes. This time virtually. Yes. I'm very glad that you're here. And we're talking about all about the capital raising boot camp. And we have spoken with perhaps Nadir, with also Daniel, and now with you. And as I said
Nice.
before, yes, I said before that you own the door property management, and you are a person who we need to listen about how to invest, perhaps with property, and get to know what are those golden nuggets that you may share tonight, and perhaps they go and listen to you in the conference along with the other speaker as Kevin Harrington, Sunil Tulsiani, Michelle Romanov, and perhaps all of them that I have said already. So go ahead. We'd like to listen to you right now, please, by all means.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be interviewed this evening, Rosemary. I really appreciate that. And so I'm from Ottawa, Canada. So the last time I went to see you, I drove 5 hours to Toronto just to talk to you for 15 minutes and then 5 hours back.
Thank you.
That's
Such
how
an
much
honor.
I love you.
Thank you. Such an honor. Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
And I've been a real estate investor for over 2 decades. So I've personally been invested. So from zero, and I built a rental portfolio that's worth, it's in the 8 figures from nothing. So I didn't inherit anything or anything of that nature. And along the way, started a property management company because I saw a real need for people who really see the benefits of owning real estate, but don't want to deal with the day-to-day requirements of owning real estate. So when I embarked on that journey, we helped thousands of people over the year with their rental properties, and the team and I are very happy to have been able to be part of that. And as time goes by, we've actually set our goal for ourselves to be able to serve 10 times the amount of people we currently are serving now with our real estate holdings, our property management services, as well as our philanthropic efforts.
Wow.
So we're on quite a journey, and our team is really excited. So we're, this is just another step in the journey.
That's amazing. You are talking about the 5 surefire strategies to raise capital. Can you tell us a little bit about it? I know we're waiting for it at the conference, but I think maybe just not in deep, but so on.
No,
so
I can't go into details. So I know that all your listeners today will be part of the event next Saturday, so I don't want to spill all the beans right away. But essentially, it was a bit of a reflection because people would ask me, how did you raise capital to get, from zero to an 8-figure real estate portfolio? And I went on this journey just backtracking all the steps because obviously this doesn't happen overnight. It's step over step over step, compounded over years, and learning from people that have done much larger things. And so at the event, I'll be sharing the first, 5. There's a lot of things I had to do to get to this level, but the 5 surefire ways that I know if people follow, you're sure to move forward. So I'll be sharing those 5 strategies and going into a bit of detail, sharing a bit of the story of how every step, took me to the next one, and how I asked myself questions and asked people around me about what would be the next step, like I'm actually doing now, right? So, I look at people now that have much larger portfolios, that have the wisdom of doing things that I have not done yet. So I'm in that journey, and hopefully I'll be able to share my 5 surefire strategies so that people can look at it and see that it's achievable. It's possible for them to start from nothing and actually scale up as time goes by. So on the, at the event, we hope that we'll be able to give the people that are listening in, good nuggets there so they can make decisions that they feel are in their best interest. So
I think is Mind Disrupted, all this information, capitalraisingbootcamp.ca. That's where you go register. We have left the link here on Facebook also. And you can call me or call them directly because I've left the information about their social media. But I think it's amazing to think about going from 0 to 8-figure portfolio, helping part-time and full-time investors manage the rental properties. And what is the biggest question here, I may say, is when they start doing and building this, do they have something that is physical momentarily that they may think, wow, am I going forward or should I stop? How do you see these people in their process of getting the knowledge, getting results, and continue?
Yeah, I think it starts with the why, the reason why you're doing this, right? So I think when people explore doing this, it's either you have to want to be involved, because obviously this doesn't happen on its own. And as time goes by, it's a matter of asking different steps. And along my journey, I've hit thresholds where I hit all my goals, and then I started coasting, and then I realized that's no fun.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
In life, you want to push, you want to look for the next level. Sunil has been nudging me. I always say he's been nudging me to, just to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I'm actually at the level that I am actually putting myself outside my comfort zone, where, on some mornings I wake up a bit in a sweat. I'm like, what the, this is the next step. I'm already in it. So, but that's, I enjoy it. And real estate is a passion of mine, and I love to see the people around us that have a passion for real estate. But sometimes a lot of people don't want to deal with it. So we're able to be a player in the game to help them with the operations. And we've now started partnering up with people where we're doing developments together. We're going to be scaling up much larger portfolios. So we'll be investors in a lot of these projects going forward. And that's really where where the company's heading, the team's heading, and that's why we're focused on serving 10 times the amount of people. And somebody recently asked me, like, why such an ambitious goal? And I had to think first, and I said, well, because just doubling it would seem possible.
Wow.
So 10 times 10 is like, it's so out of reach. It's like, yeah, we got to change. You got to change along the way, right? And you got to enjoy it. And we're having fun. We got a really good team of people. We'll have, as time goes by, as we grow, we're going to need some really highly ambitious, energetic people that really want to serve people. And we're looking forward to meeting these people along the way. So,
wow. And you know what? You're talking and I'm going like viral again. Like, honestly, I want this weekend to come up just now. Like, I want to be there now, because sometimes people that they may feel ordinary, they're the most extraordinary people, but they don't know yet. They don't know how to really find that inner desired that's really kicking in, and they don't have a way because they don't know whom can be the way. And I think this is very exciting to listen from you, to listen from all the other speakers, to listen from people who have gone through the failures, because I'm sure there could be some, roads that going all the way down and up and high down, but then you know what to do next. And I think that's why we as mentors of doing a desirable job for others, we really have to truthfully show the actions and results. And I think you have results very fundamental here. And I'm sure the people that might listen to you and say, well, you know what? I thought my money had should stayed at the bank or maybe in my mutual fund account because it's safer. Now they have a better way of investing. What can you say about that?
Yeah, well, I think I'll start with the one thing is, there's one way not to fail.
Wow.
Don't quit. Just keep going.
Exactly.
And one of the things I really like also is, if you're not a bit afraid of what you're pursuing, chances are you're not pushing yourself enough, right? So you should always be a bit on edge. And that's what life is all about, right? If you're just, just sit there and eat Cheetos and watch TV, then that's okay. But, it depends what kind of life you want. And I like to push the boundaries, and I like to surround myself with people that like to push the boundaries. And we we have friendly competitions, we move, but we all have fun doing this together. And that's why I'm always really excited to be part of the Private Investment Club and being part of these events. I think they're a lot of fun, and they just showcase the people who are willing to get outside their comfort zone and push the boundaries. At whatever level you are at, we all started at ground zero, right? And and that's reality. And nothing, a lot of times it's just a matter of building the foundation and then asking better questions, right? Instead of saying, why am I failing? And maybe say, well, what needs to happen in order for me to get to the next level, and see what the universe gives you in terms of response, right? So,
I love it.
Yeah, I could go on and on this, but yeah.
That's why I asked you the question. That's why I asked it. And we have Sunil Tulsiani here for sure. He's sending love, care, and he says, "Hey, Dan. Perhaps this is good." He says, "Dan is a superstar investor." There you go. Please, production, applauses.
Yeah.
This is really nice. There you go.
Yeah.
You know what? I really thank you for the opportunity. I think a lot of people today may think about, well, if there's times that we have to invest, we'll be always in ourselves, and definitely going on this racing boot camp, Racing Capital, and it will be on February 27 at 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You know where to go. Go online to www.capitalracingbootcamp.ca. Also, if you want to find the speakers, you know already their social media. But now is the turn for Dan. So I would love for you to leave us your social media or how to get a hold of you, maybe an email, a phone number. By all means, you know what? There's information classified here that I'm sure people need it, and they need to find you.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to connect with me is through LinkedIn. If you're not, if you're on LinkedIn, so Dan Dore, Dan obviously, Dore, D-O-R-E, and you'll find me there. And if not, you go to the website. It's called dorerentals.com. So D-O-R-E, rentals with an S.com, and you'll see a bit of the showcasing of parts of what we do. Obviously, there's more scale to it, but that's probably the easiest way to see a bit of what we do in Ottawa. So
amazing. What do you think about going with Kevin Harrington, Michelle Romanoff, Sunil Tulsiani again, and all the speakers? What do you think about this? Because last time we had superstars, but tonight and after in this Capital Racing Boot Camp, also there's other stars. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I love being surrounded with people like that, highly ambitious people that don't, always think positively and next step and pushing and rubbing elbows and sharing stages with people like that is, it's a blessing. And I'm extremely, extremely happy to be part of it. I'm happy that the Private Investment Club invited me to be able to do so. And I don't know, I'm just looking forward to it. I just love these things. So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and pleasure to have you. And I hope I can see you again, because I'm sure that you will have other conferences through the year. And this is your time to be here always. For me, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much, Dan.
Thank you, Rosemary. I appreciate the opportunity. Have a great evening.
Yeah, you too also. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, you listen. Now you have the opportunity. Ya lo escucharon y tienen la oportunidad. Dan precisamente habló de las inversiones que hace por medio de Property Management. Son propiedades que las hizo con cero dinero y las llegó a estar en 8 figuras. O sea, te estamos hablando más de millones. Entonces, hay una necesidad, y hay una necesidad interna del ser humano, no tan solo crecer económicamente, pero yo creo que más allá es también de reconocer que si no estás buscando los medios, es difícil crecer a la medida que quieres y requieres. Así que te invitamos nuevamente al Capital Racing Bootcamp.ca. He dejado precisamente link aquí para que ustedes sean los que vayan y se registren gratuitamente. So this is totally free. There's no charge for this conference. You will listen to the superstars and you have no excuses not to be there, other than to invest your time, which is the most amazing resource that you have and you will never get back. But I'm sure by having it and leveraging that time, a lot of things can happen that will amaze you, your outcome thereafter in this year. So thank you so much. For me, it's been a pleasure to be with you guys, offer you this information, surround with people of destiny, people who are really, really making a difference in communities. And these are people that are working towards the success of others. Thank you, thank you. Gracias, para mí es un honor estar con personas que quieren transformar las vidas de otros, que buscan el deseo de construir unidos. Y eso es lo que se llama Hablando Entre Mujeres. Por siempre vamos a agradecer a nuestra casa de producción, Frequency 5FM, nuestros aliados Al Día Media, Impacto FM Stereo, Universo Radio. Como siempre, llevando historia. Yo diría historia, sí, porque esto queda siempre y tú lo vas a poder escuchar. Así que esto es historia, esto es comunicación y esto es vanguardia, porque siempre estamos en constante movimiento. Para mí es un placer agradecerte porque hoy has construido un mejor futuro para este programa y tu servidora Rosmarie Sánchez. Por siempre sigan compartiendo el programa, para mí es un honor y bueno, nos vamos. Partimos con dolor, pero regresamos el próximo miércoles a la misma hora. Muchísimas gracias.